It's Carter. I'm here on the street of I'd say, decidedly middle-income neighborhood. See the home stretched out down there. Guy's got his garage across the street where he works on his own cars. I like to see that. Real people, real men, you know, got the hands under the hood there. Wish I knew how to do it. If I did, I would. But as I jogged up the street a few minutes ago, just got done jogging, knees still kept in place by apparatus. That's all right. There's no gain without pain. I think we in the United States have to learn that lesson now, don't we? After almost 4 years of toxic Joe Biden destroying everything in sight. But I want you to think about something, and in a way, Toxic Joe reflects it. My brother and I were talking yesterday. He's in a senior's home, doing great. Fights back on everything. He's had a heart transplant 10 years ago. He's a fighter. And we were talking about the fact that, let me give you a little challenge. Look around you and see if you can find a kid, a guy, under 25 who has a chest. Do it. Go to the local supermarket like I do, the Weis down here. I'm just shocked at the lack of guys with chest. And then we read in the paper that among American males, the testosterone level is at record lows. That's one of the reasons I have no chest. The other is they consider lifting the mouse strenuous exercise. And the parents let them get away with that crap. Well, what becomes of a nation whose men have no chest, who have no testosterone? Now, there is a bright side to that. Most of them are wokesters, and so thank goodness they probably won't be able to reproduce. Not that they could with wokester women, because they don't like sex. They're really kind of offended by the fact that you would think of me that way. And by the way, the guys talk the same way. No, I'm not really offended. I didn't mean to offend you. We'll never, trust me, we'll never do anything like that. That's where we are. That's where we are. The hard left, the fascist left, has bred manliness out of our, quote, men. Okay? Just like they can breed traits into animals. I've told you already, had a Doberman who, textbook Doberman, I never taught him a thing about how to do the stuff that Dobermans do, because it was bred into him over time. Remember, that's not a natural dog that came from nature. That's a, quote, manufactured dog, if you will. We now have manufactured men, so to speak, quote unquote men. And so what happens when our men have to go face men like you see in the Russian army or the Chinese army? Okay? What happens when the Russians advance and our men say, wait a minute, we can talk about this now. Look, on my computer it's in. God help us. God help us. But you look around, you see that this is something that has been manufactured, bred for generations. Joe Biden has no chest. He has no chest. You may say, well, come on, Carter, Joe's old. I'm old. I got a chest. You have to work at it. It's called work. It's called work. Lifting weights. Do something. Blinken, Tony Blinken, no chest. His friend, Jake Sullivan, no chest. No chest. And these are our leaders. Where am I going with this? Well, actually, I'm going to an endorsement of Donald Trump. Like him or not, Donald J. Trump has a chest. Pretty good sized chest that he developed on working construction alongside his own employees. And it'd be nice to have someone in the White House that the next generation of young men in this country can look up to and say, I want to look like that. I want to look like a man. Okay? Instead of a toxic Joe Biden, Blinken, Tony Sullivan, oh, for God's sake. Never any chest, never any manliness, no testosterone. Okay? So you may say, oh, this is, come on, Carter. Hey, it's serious. Trust me, it's serious. Because the rest of the world doesn't really like the United States. That's why we're being kicked out of Central American country after Central American country, where, by the way, I have a home, getting ready to buy another one, and the men have chest. Okay? So when you have been hegemonous for over a century and offended a heck of a lot of people all around the world, the worst thing you want to do is show weakness. You need to be able to stick out your chest. So what if you have none? That's where we are today, folks. So the solution, it's going to be long term, but we can start with electing a man with a chest. Donald Trump, let's do this thing.